Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live Flashback. We're taking you back to January 13th, 2022. This is episode 108. We hope you'll enjoy it. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you out there, wherever you are around the world and across the country in your different time zone. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. It's Thursday here, and it's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Thursday over there, and it's Friday morning in London and Friday morning in Tokyo at 10 a.m. Good morning, everybody. Good evening, good night, and whatever time zone you're in, well, welcome to the show. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and I'm so glad to be with you once again for another Thursday, as we are every Thursday right here. We come to you and bring you great conversation and a whole lot of fun. And what we're going to do for the whole hour, we're going to be with you. We want you to stay with us because if you want to chime in on the conversation, feel free to do so. You're always welcome to do that. All you have to do is just type in. I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain your questions, your thoughts, your ideas, and we'll have a lot of fun. Now, I'll throw out a topic as host of the show, I always do, and then as the show goes along, if you want to chime in and talk about something, we'd be glad to talk about it with you. That's why we call it Talk Back Live, because it's information and education too, whatever you want to do. We all bring it together each week. And we come differently, different places, right? 3 different places, as a matter of fact. We come on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram. And everybody's there watching us, so if you can't find us on one, you could always find us on the other. Later on in the program, we've got sports coming up. Brian Kent will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. It's a sports update that's coming along this very hour, within this half hour, as a matter of fact. And of course, I will have those movies that you like, all of those great classic movies, direct from Turner Classic Movies. Okay, I have that information for you too. And of course, along with what's happening in this day in history. All of that's coming up, of course, you and me and all of us. So thank you so much for being along with us. And I see a lot of people are coming in, so I just want to say hello, great greetings to all of you out there. If I didn't wish you a happy new year, let me do so. It's kind of late, but you know, better late than never. And those of you, I hope that you did have a good one. If you weren't here last week, let me wish you once again a happy new year. And let's hope this a happy new year for each and every one of us as we move along in life right here. And as I said, 1 hour, that's all we have is 1 hour, but we're going to make it the best we can. And we want you to stay with us and enjoy the conversation. So, you know, sit back, relax, and you may be, depending on your time zone, you may be at work right now, right? You may be at work right now and you're at your computer and you're joining us. We thank you for being so, and enjoy your coffee with us. You may be at lunch, right? This is your lunch hour. That could be, never know. And it could be, you know, dinner time for some of you. And then a lot of you are getting ready to go to bed. But before you go to bed, hang out with us. Now, whatever time you could spend with us, that would be appreciative. We don't mind. We would love to have you for the whole entire show. But whatever time you like to spend with us, we would really appreciate that. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, please tag your friends. You have a whole lot of friends, I know that. Tag your friends this show right now. Tag them and let them in on the action so they can be part of us. Bring them all in. We really would appreciate that. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, you already know what to do. You're a regular here, so you already know the deal. All you have to do is follow us. We would appreciate your fellowship. Follow us. And when you follow us, that means that each and every time we come on the air live, or of course, if we kind of post a live video or something, whatever it is, you will be informed, you'll be notified. Notification will pop up and you'll see it. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram as well, the same thing. Hang out with us, follow us, and of course, that information will come up to you too. Well, they tell you later on how to get in touch with us personally. We'll have all of that information for you coming right along. And we hope that each and every one of you are healthy right now. And you know what I'm getting forward to tell you, right? You get vaccinated. Well, that's something that we push on this show is because we believe in it. Vaccinations are very important. And you know, this variant now, this Omicron variant now, it's widespread They even said now that it's a likelihood that a lot of us can get it, even people who are vaccinated. So that doesn't mean you will get it, but it's that quick and it's that easy for the spread to come around. So be very careful on your places wherever you go. Be very careful on your surroundings, the people you are with. Make sure that most people that you know hopefully are vaccinated and you can be around them. Watch where you go in the restaurants. There's so many things in the news that's so depressing. We understand now that the Supreme Court had already blocked President Obama's way to I don't know, the mandate, right? That strict mandate they have for the big businesses. Well, they blocked that for them. I don't know what your issue is about that. Maybe you have an issue with that. I personally do, because I want to see everybody healthy. If I'm going to go into your place of business, I want to make sure that at least the people that are serving me are healthy, vaccinated, or wearing masks, and things like that. So they're kind of like doing away with that mandate for big businesses. But for the people who work in hospitals, right, those places where they help people, of course that's common sense. Of course, you're going to want to make sure that if you're going to take care of people, you want to make sure that you take care of yourself first. So that means get vaccinated. There are a lot of places to go to get vaccinated. And they have 3, of course, vaccines available. You already know that. You have the Pfizer, you have the Moderna, and you have J&J. Now, Pfizer and Moderna, those are the 2 shots that will put you as a fully vaccinated person. And then after you reach the 6-month stage after being fully vaccinated with the 2 shots, they recommend that you get boosted. If you're taking the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson, that's a 1 shot, that's fully vaccinated, but 2 months after that, you should get boosted. That's the way it goes right now. So we hope that each and every one of you are out there doing what you're supposed to be doing. There are a lot of places, a lot of numbers to call in your local area. All you have to do is Google to find out where the nearest station is where you are to get vaccinated. Maybe your primary doctor has a supply of vaccines that he can administer to you when you come in. And if you need to be tested, I'm pretty sure he can do that too. There are a lot of centers, a lot of long lines. They are trying to do their best to get more at-home testing. And they're doing that as quick as possible. It's a little slow, but they're doing that as quick as possible for people to get these tests at home if they so desire. They're also trying to speed up the action on getting these updated masks, they're more effective. These N95s, I can't remember all the numbers, N95s and a few of them like that. And if you can't get hold of that, double up your mask. Use a regular mask, but double them up. Make it a 2-layer mask, right? I do, until I can get a hold of the N95 or the other ones that are more effective for this vaccine. Can't wait till the warmer weather gets together here. When the warmer weather comes around, I think that's when the curve flattens. So they tell me. So we're going to have to be a little extra cautious for the next 3 or 4 weeks right now. For the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to have to be extra cautious. And if you feel any symptoms, you have any symptoms at all, please go get tested to find out. It's simple, it's common sense. Get tested, stay at home for, I believe it's like 10 days, or maybe it's less than that, I don't know. Some people are doing 5 days, I don't know what it is. But if you want to be extra cautious, you want to hang out for 10 days and then get retested again to make sure that it's negative and you won't have a problem. But in the meantime, we urge each and every one of you to do that. You heard on the news today, I heard on the news today, which is the silliest thing I ever heard today. In London, the Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson, right? He was the one that brought out the mandates and shut down everything in the UK, but he goes out and he parties with a lot of people. Bring your own booze, let's party, bring your own booze. Something that, a law that he brings on, that everybody's supposed to follow, and he goes out and parties. So they're asking for his resignation right now. And it's that situation is, do what I say and not as I do. Listen, if you're going to lay down the law, they lay down the law for everybody. Follow your own rules. Follow your own advice. Protect others. And so when we say protect others, you want to protect yourself, of course, but of course you want to protect others like your husbands, your wives, your aunts, your uncles, your children, cousins, whoever you're living with. You want to protect them. And if you're infected for some reason, you want to stay in quarantine away from the rest of your family. So there's a lot of things that we have to work on, because it could happen to each and every one of us. It could happen to anyone. So just keep all of that in mind. Now, I have information for you if you're living in New York. If you're living in New York, and these are for New Yorkers only, I have some information for you. If you are looking for the Moderna vaccine, if you're looking for the Moderna shots, okay, Moderna boosters and COVID-19 PCR testing is now available at the following stations. Now, New Yorkers, here we go. If you're in that area, the Times Square station at 42nd Street pathway between the Lexington Avenue line and the Lexington and Grand Central shuttle. All right, and you can get that Monday through Sunday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the Grand Central station, that's the Grand Central Terminal, street level, that's at 89 East 42nd Street, and that's every Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and no appointment is necessary. And you can check for the updates. There may be updates on these schedulings and the locations, whatever. You can find all those updates there by going to new.mta.info/vax. Again, that's new.mta.info/vax. Okay, keep all of that in mind. Keep all of that information for you. Now, of course, if you want that information, again, I went too fast for you, all you have to do is, it'll be on the replay, on the rerun of the show, and you can check it out then. Okay, so that information I will continue to give to you, convey to you whenever it's needed. Okay, now we also have a number, all right, here in New York, but it'll get you places. It's called the COVID-19 test, and that number is 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. For those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, the information is there. If you're watching us on Facebook, you see the information up there, or it's over here, depending on how you're watching the show or where you're watching the show. The information is right there. All of that information is there. If you're watching us on YouTube, it's in the top of the chat. In the chat area, right at the very top. It's right there, and you can check it out there. And again, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, I just gave it to you already. I'll give you that number again. It's the COVID-19 test, and that number, it's a local number in New York, but I'm pretty sure you can get information on different connections or where to go. 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. Okay? So please do that. It's now 14 minutes past the hour right now. You know something? We already heard about the story already. Sidney Poitier, he already passed away. Now, you know something? When he passed away, the day he passed away, which was last Friday, I was doing the coffee hour show last Friday morning. And while I was on the air, the news came down, but I didn't get, Brian Kemp relayed the news to me, but I didn't get the news until after I went off the air. I missed it. And I'm sorry I did, because I would have loved not love to, but it would have been nice to actually broadcast that for you, make that announcement for you. But he passed away. Sidney Poitier, legendary actor Sidney Poitier, died last Friday at the age of 94. And we'll talk more about that later for those of you who are Sidney Poitier fans. If you're also a Bob Saget fan, he passed away too. Comedian Bob Saget. You know him best on the sitcom Full House. And he was found dead in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Orlando, Florida. And he's died at the age of 65. That's young these days. 65 is a young age these days. So we'll talk more about that as well. And let's see, other people here. Here's another thing. Remember actor Dwayne, I think his name is, yes, Dwayne Hickman. Now, a lot of you may be too young to remember this actor, Dwayne Hickman. If you're my age, if you're in the baby boomer era, back then there was a show called The Many Lives of Dobie Gillis, and he was Dobie Gillis. Dwayne Hickman passed away too this week from Parkinson's disease, and he passed away at the age of 87. And in the music world, Rosa Hawkins of the Dixie Cups, and you remember that song that they did, the Chapel of Love? Well, she passed away Tuesday, and after an internal bleeding from surgery she had in Florida. She was 77 years old, 76, they say 76, but if she was born in 1944 in September, that would make her, what, 77? All right, do the math. Okay, and finally, the latest news too, in the music world, Veronica Yvette Bennett, but you know her affectionately as Ronnie Spector, the lead singer of the Ronettes, the 60s girl group. The Ronettes, well, she passed away too. She passed away this week due to a brief battle of cancer, and she was 78 years old. And she joins her sister up there in heaven, Estelle Bennett, and her cousin, of course, I believe still alive, Nedra Talley. They were a family group. They were a family group. There were the two sisters, Ronnie and Estelle, and the cousin was Nedra. So we're going to talk more about that too. That's a lot to talk about too. But right now, we're going to go to the phones. Straight from Charlotte, North Carolina, because it's time for sports with Brian Camp with Sports Update, the latest developments in today's world of sports. We're a little late. I'm sorry about that, Brian.
No, it's fine. I have nothing to do. Just listening, learn some history, and the Sidney Poitier. My favorite Sidney Poitier movie was, believe it or not, nobody was going to really remember it. You would remember it, but not many people would remember it and say, well, it was one of the, famous ones that he made. But mine was The Organization. You remember that one? That was with Ryan O'Neal, who used to play Superfly.
That's right.
DeMont Wilson from Sanford and Son was on there too. And that was one of my favorite early 70s, the kid. And it was so cool how he was coming down the stairs, slowly gliding down the stairs and just catching the crook. It was just totally a great actor he was. He's, the first African American male in a leading role to win an Oscar award. The first ever was the lady that played in Going with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel.
Yeah.
Was the first.
Yeah.
And but he was great, and one of the famous, Denzel Washington, always made a quote said that he's been always chasing Sidney Poitier, and he also said that he will always chase him.
Yep.
Because that's just a sign of respect.
Yeah.
With the legacy that Sidney Poitier left to a lot of people. He one of my favorite pictures also, another one was Buck and the Preacher, that was in the 70s with Harry Belafonte. And, he did the 3 movies with Bill Cosby, Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, and I forgot the third one, but he did 3 of them with Bill Cosby. Mm-hmm. So he comedy too, as well too, and of course To Serve with Love when he did that crazy dance that everybody loved and everything, and you know, I'm so glad that he impacted our lives in one way or the other. So,
well, you know something, he when he did that movie, what was the name of that movie? Mr. Tibbs. They called me Mr. Tibbs. When he did that movie, there was a part in that movie where he was in the South. They were in the South, racist South. And when he did that movie, he was in a flower shop, and the man slapped him, and without hesitation, he backhand slapped him. Remember that movie?
Yes.
That was what was the name of that movie again? That was
The Heat of the Night.
The Heat of the Night. It was The Heat of the Night, right? That was the one. It was The Heat of the Night, and that was when he did that. You know, that changed a lot. As far as African Americans was concerned, he changed a lot. Actually, the story behind that is that in the book, he was supposed to get slapped and not retaliate, turn the other cheek. But Sidney Poitier, being not as powerful as he was in the business, told the guy, he says, look, what I suggest is that, okay, I get slapped, I can take a slap. But he said, but I'm going to slap back. You know, because the reason why he said that, because if he didn't, that would have went against his principles.
That's right. And he chose his own roles.
He chose his own roles.
It wouldn't go against his principles.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many great movies. We're going to talk about more of that later, about his movies, because I have a lot more movies to talk about.
Yeah, but good evening to everyone out there in Facebook land and Instagram and in YouTube. It is 43 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, as we brace for a potential snow, ice, weather advisory coming up on Sunday and maybe all the way up into Monday. So, you know, that's a rare occasion out here in North Carolina, anywhere in the South. But yeah, it's been cold. It's been cold. Yes, it's been cold. Yes, even for us, it's been cold. But it's cloudy and it's going to be cold tomorrow. It's going to hit 27 degrees early in the morning, but it's going to shoot up to high 40s, low 50s. So let me get to sports. In the NFL, Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper has been fined $14,650. I want everybody to pay attention to why this COVID-19 is so important, that we would be safe in what we're doing. Now, like I said, he was fined $14,650 by the NFL for violating the COVID-19 protocols for unvaccinated players by attending a Dallas Maverick basketball game last week. Now, this wide receiver, Amari Cooper, is not vaccinated. He's one of the few athletes who is against the vaccine. Was last week, he was not wearing a mask. Prior to attending the Mavericks game, Cooper was on the sidelines at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, cheering on Alabama against Cincinnati. That was a couple of weeks ago. And Cooper was with his teammates CeeDee Lamb and Trevor Diggs, who played with them on the Cowboys. But since they have been vaccinated, they do not have the same restrictions, and were not fined. And now, an unvaccinated player can be surrounded by more than 10 people. Okay, hold on, let me back up. Unvaccinated players can attend a sporting event, but must sit in a luxury suite with a mask and not be surrounded by more than 10 people. Cooper was sitting courtside at a Maverick game. So there you go. He doesn't believe in the vaccine. He has that right. Let's not be angry with him. But he was fined, because he was. And I tell you that they will fine you. They have people looking out and spying on you because why? The NFL is trying to protect their product as being a good sport. They want to protect their players and all and deservedly so. Now, this weekend is football weekend, playoff weekend. We got 6 games, starting Saturday, January 15th. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to be at the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll be at 4:30 on NBC. And then the New England Patriots will be at the Buffalo Bills at 8:15 on CBS. And on Sunday, you got 3 games. You got a triple hitter. First game, the Philadelphia Eagles will be at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 1 o'clock. That game will be shown on Fox. Second game, game 2, the San Francisco 49ers will be at the Dallas Cowboys at 4:30 on CBS. And the final game would be Sunday night. Pittsburgh Steelers will be at the Kansas City Chiefs at 8:15. That's going to be on NBC. And then capping off on Monday, yes, there's a Monday night playoff game on as we celebrate the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The Phoenix Cardinals will be at Los Angeles to play against the Los Angeles Rams at 8:15. You can see that game on ABC/ESPN. So be sure to watch. Playoffs are very exciting. We're soon coming up in another month or so. We'll be playing in the Super Bowl. So enjoy the action. It's going to be intense. In the college football, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, who won their first national championship since 1980 by beating heavily favored the Alabama Crimson Tide 33-18. So the Georgia Bulldogs, who've been in the news like the last couple of years, that they came win the big one. Well, they finally did it. Since 1980, they did that win, and it's been 42 years. So congratulations to the state of Georgia. This day in sports, 1962, Philadelphia Center Wilt Chamberlain scored 73 points in the Warriors' 135-17 win. 1963, the 13th NFL Pro Bowl, East beats the West 30-20. Jim Brown named Most Valuable Player. 1972, Bernice Gero wins the anti-discrimination case against the National Baseball Congress to allow her to umpire a game. 1982, Hall of Famer and the late Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, was elected to Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. 1983, the AMA urges ban on boxing, cites Muhammad Ali's deteriorating condition. This is when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at the early stages. In 1988, Los Angeles Dodgers and San Diego Padres Steve Garvey retires. In 1996, 26 NHL teams unanimously ratify agreement to end the National Hockey League strike. In 1999, Michael Jordan announces his second retirement just prior to the start of the lockout, shortened 1988-1999 NBA season. 2001, Atlanta Hawks retired Dominique Wilkins, number 21, in the pregame ceremonies, joining Bob Pettit and Lou Hudson as the only Hawk players to have their numbers retired. And in 2020, the Houston Astros manager A.J. Hinch and general manager Jeff Luhnow are fired by team owner Jim Crane for their roles of sign stealing. That was a big scandal where they was cheating, stealing signs for the opposition. Well, they got caught, and a lot of people went down. They got fired for it, lost their jobs, and that's sport.
Oh boy, a lot in sports, a lot of sports, and I just hope that we got about at least 3 or 4 more weeks before this Omicron subsides a little bit as the weather gets a little warmer. But I hope that we can maintain sports even with the pandemic is going on. Now they're saying now a lot of people are bound to maybe, if not get the virus, but everybody's going to be exposed to it. I think we're all exposed to it anyway. You know.
Well, I think, I think everybody's going to get hit with the virus. Now, I went to see my doctor this week, and my doctor explained to me what's going on with this virus. Now, who am I going to believe? A politician or somebody that's in the medical field?
Yeah.
He says that this Omicron virus is very contagious, but not as severe. But he did say that all these COVID-19 cases and these variants that's occurring, it's like an asteroid. When we watch, an asteroid that's in space, once an asteroid is hit, it breaks up into many pieces and it scatters. Mm-hmm. So it's not as strong as it used to be.
Yeah.
So we're going to have many more of these variants to come out, but they're not going to be as strong. And we're praying that they won't be as strong, but they just disperse into little areas and they scatter.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to get vaccinated.
Well, I tell you,
the way you're now.
I tell you, I do everything. You can call me what you want, but I'm going to do everything to avoid it myself as much as I can. I mask up daily, indoors, outdoors, except when I go in and have some coffee or something. But then where I go, they have these sections where you have to show your passport, your proof of vaccination. Otherwise, you can't get in there. So I feel safe about that. So other than that, no restaurants with a crowded people, no bars, no nothing like that. No nothing like that.
I mean, the closest, I have, since the pandemic started almost 2 years ago, I could say that I've myself been to maybe 2 or 3 restaurants during that whole time, but they were outdoors. They could serve you outdoors in an area.
Yeah.
But I had to be with close family members who were vaccinated, fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
But other than that, you would not catch me inside.
Right.
I was able to take a chance, not only a chance, but I was able to, like I said not too long ago, I was able to see West Side Story opening night, but I was one and 2 other people in the movie theater for the entire movie. So, people don't come to movie theaters out here in the South, really. So, but other than that, you will not catch me in a closed area. I just don't believe in it.
All right. Well, the best we can do is stay safe as much as we can. Are we going to see you tomorrow?
No, I'm going to send my stuff, and I emailed you already. There might be a slim chance. I'm not quite sure, but just in case, I send it in, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Good enough. All right. We'll play it by ear.
Okay, then.
Okay. You take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports update, and he's here every Thursday, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. He may not be here tomorrow, but whatever it goes, if he's not going to be here, we're going to fill in for him. DJ Pete will be here tomorrow, hopefully as well. So far, I haven't heard a no from him, so he'll be here at 20 to the hour. So that's the 2020 feature. Brian Camp 20 after the hour, and DJ Pete 20 to the hour. And DJ Pete gives you information of entertainment. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about, if he's out there, we'll talk about Ronnie Spector, which you're going to talk about in just a few minutes. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and we're here every Thursday, and we hope that you're here with us each week as well. If you're not, please make it a point to do that. If you're here for the very first time, don't make it your last time. And if you're watching us on Facebook, there's YouTube, and there's Instagram as well. If you're watching us on one of those 3 entities, of course, you could watch us and not miss a show. And by doing that, if you're watching us on Facebook, make sure, by the way, that you tag all of your friends and let them know that we're out there, okay? And you could become a friend on my page on Facebook too. And if you're watching us on YouTube, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, and therefore you'll never miss a show, because every time we go on the air live or post a video, you will always be notified with notification, of course. And of course, if you're watching us on Instagram, just follow us, and we'll be right here for you each and every Thursday right here on Facebook Live. On Talkback Live. Facebook Live, Talkback Live. Thank you so much for being along with us once again. And I guess it's that time, right? It's that time. And we talk about it. We might as well talk about it now because we're going to talk about the latest, which, of course, we'll talk more about Sidney Poitier. But right now, on this day in history, 1927, U.S. and Mexico battle over oil interests. On this day in history, in 1930, Mickey Mouse comic strip's first appearance. On this day in history, in 1942, Henry Ford patents a method of constructing plastic auto bodies. On this day in history, in 1942, in World War II, the first use of an aircraft ejection seat by a German test pilot in a Heinkel 280 jet fighter. On this day in history, in 1943, Prime Minister Winston Churchill arrives in Casablanca, French Monaco, for a conference of Allied forces in World War II. On this day in history, 1948, the first country music TV show, Midwest Hayride, premieres on WLW-TV in Cincinnati, Ohio. On this day in history, in 1953, a gas explosion in Belgium coal mine kills 14 people. On this day in history, in 1953, KOLD-TV, Channel 13 in Tucson, Arizona, CBS station begins broadcast. On this day in history, in 1958, 9,000 scientists of 43 nations petition UN for nuclear test ban. Back in 1962, Chubby Checker's song, The Twist, was credited for the starting of the twist dance craze. It goes to #1 on the charts 2 years after the first reaching #1 on the spot. Now I must add to that song, Chubby Checker recorded The Twist. He did that in 1960, but that was a cover record because Hank Ballard originally did it and wrote it back in 1959. In 1966, the first black select for the presidential cabinet, LBJ selects Robert C. Weaver for HUD. Back in 1975, Henry Kissinger hints at military action against oil countries in case of actual strangulation of the institutionalized or the industrialized world in the wake of oil shock. In 1976, Sarah Caldwell is the first woman to conduct the New York City Metropolitan Opera House as she led the orchestra in a performance of La Traviata. Let me pronounce this correctly. It's called La Traviata. La Traviata. Yeah, I did that. Okay. Back in 1978, NASA selects its first American woman astronaut. In 1979, the YMCA files a libel suit against the Village People's song YMCA. In 1982, the Air Florida 737 took off in a snowstorm, crashes into the 14th Street Bridge in Washington, D.C., and falls into the Potomac River and killed 78 people. In 1984, TV anchor Christine Kraft wins a $325,000 in her case against KMBC TV. In 1987, 7 top New York City mobsters, or mob bosses, were selected or sentenced to 100 years each in prison. Back in 1989, daytime drama Ryan's Hope, remember them? Ryan's Hope ends its 13-and-a-half run on ABC TV. In 1989, British comedy sketch show series A Bit of Fry and Laurie, starring Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, debuts on BBC One. In 1990, the first elected African-American governor, Douglas Wilder, was inaugurated in Virginia. In 1992, Japan apologizes for forcing Korean women into sexual slavery during World War II. In 1993, French, British, and U.S. fighter jets launched bombing raids in southern Iraq. In 1997, radical guerrillas hold 72 hostages and shoot a police officer outside the Japanese embassy in Lima, Peru. On this day in history in 1998, Patti LaBelle on Broadway opens at the St. James Theater in New York City. In 2002, the 28th People's Choice Awards goes to Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts. They win for dramatic motion picture, and Kelsey Grammer, Ray Romano, and Jennifer Aniston wins for TV. In 2003, the 30th American Music Awards, and that goes to Sheryl Crow and Eminem. They win for that. Those are the winners that night. In 2015, TV comedy Schitt's Creek. Let me spell that for you. Schitt's Creek. That's spelled Schitts. This is a family show. Schitt's Creek, which is a popular show, by the way, was created by and starred Eugene Levy and Dan Levy, and premiered on CBC in London. Now it's here in the United States. I saw it once. It was a pretty good show, comedy show. In 1919, Robert Stack, the American actor known for The Untouchables and Unsolved Mysteries, was born on this day in Los Angeles, California. He died in the year 2003. In 1929, Joe Pass, American jazz guitarist and composer, was born on this day in Brunswick, New Jersey. He passed away in 1994. In 1930, Liz Anderson, American country music singer, songwriter, born on this day in Roseau, Minnesota. She passed away 2011. On this day, 1931, Charles Nelson Riley, American actor, comedian, and game show panelist on The Match Game, was born on this day in New York City, and he passed away 2007. Comedian and actor Rip Taylor was born on this day in 1931 in Washington, D.C. He passed away October 6, 2019, at the age of 88. Seinfeld's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, known to you as Elaine, all right? Do the Elaine dance. She was born today, on this day, in 1961 here in New York City, and she is 61 years old today. In 1964, Penelope Ann Miller, an American actress, is born on this day. And she was born in Los Angeles, California. She's 58 today. Happy birthday, Penelope. Actor Patrick Dempsey was born on this day in 1966 in Lewiston, Maine, and he's 56 today. 1972, Nicole Eggert, American actress who is known for the sitcom Charles in Charge and Baywatch, was born on this day, and she was born in Glendale, California. She's 50 years old today. In 1958, actress Jane Mansfield, she weds Hungarian and American bodybuilder Mickey Hargitay at the Ways Fairs Chapel, and that was in California, but they got divorced in 1964. In 2006, actress Shelley Winters weds Jerry D. Ford, and that was just hours before she passed away. Just hours before she passed away. And former Vice President Hubert Humphrey died on this day in 1978 at the age of 66 from bladder cancer. He was born May 27, 1911 in Wallace, South Dakota. In 1979, R&B singer Donny Hathaway committed suicide at the age of 33. In 2010, R&B singer Teddy Pendergrass dies from respiratory illness, and he died at the age of 59. And that's it for this day in history. If you happen to know anybody or anything that happened on this day in history and you would like to relay to me, please, I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain that for you. And we'll do that, okay? And if just watching us, just coming in, thank you so much. I see a lot of people are idle. They not saying anything, but that's okay. But we'd rather have you out there idle than not to be out there at all. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. It's 15 minutes to the hour. And just in case you're just joining us for the very first time, again, as I always say, please don't make it your last time. Always come in and be with us each week. And if you're here, you know the protocol each week. If you're on Facebook, please tag your friends and bring them on the show. They have 15 minutes left to enjoy what we have left. If you're out there on YouTube, of course, you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This way you'll never miss a show. Each time we come on the air, you'll be notified. Notification will pop up. And even if we so much as post a video, it'll pop up and you'll never miss us. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, we thank you so much for doing so. And of course, you can always follow us too. This way you'll never miss a show. So thank you one and all for being with us right here on Facebook. Okay, Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and we all love you, and we love you so much. Okay, now we're going to talk more about Sidney Poitier because there's a lot to talk about. I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But first of all, we want to tell you about all of those great movies. I don't want to miss out on that. Now this week, I don't have anything coming from Turner Classic Movies. I don't have anything coming. I didn't have anything. I didn't find anything that I wanted to pick, or I could have picked. But I'm pretty sure you could still go on there, and if there's something that you happen to see on Turner Classic Movie, as you stroll through, you go there and you look down the menu, as they would say, either the menu or the program guide, and you look right through it, and you might see something that you like. I haven't seen anything that I actually wanted to pick to put on the show. However, there's another channel called Movies, and they do classic movies. However, this channel Movie, unlike Turner Classics, they play commercials, so you have to bear with that. But they do a lot of classic movies, and here's something coming up that I think you're going to like. Invaders from Mars. This is the original Invaders from Mars from 1953 on Movies, and you can check it out tomorrow night, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's right there on Movies. The Invaders from Mars. I like that movie. I love that movie. That's the original. They did two versions, but this is the original. I don't like the remakes, but the remake wasn't that bad, but there's nothing like the original. So the original Invaders from Mars from 1953, that comes on. You can check it out. Again, that's on Movies, and that's tomorrow night, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, all of our time zone Eastern. You can also check out The Crawling Eye from 1958, starring Forrest Tucker. Forrest Tucker, you remember him from F Troop. Well, he's on that movie. That's a classic movie, 1958, Forrest Tucker, The Crawling Eye, and that's also on Friday, tomorrow night at 9:40 p.m. Eastern. I believe these two movies are back to back. All right, so you can check that out. And just in case you're looking for something more, you could also go on Movie on Demand. Go on demand, right? You can go to Movie on Demand and you can check out all the networks, all of the movies, chock full of great movies that you may like, that you probably haven't seen in a long time, or probably would even jog your memory. So go there. If you're a subscriber to cable, go to Movie on Demand. Also, you go on the demand where you find all of the networks, each and every network that you may find a lot of things. If you're a sports buff, you may find something that you probably had missed in real time, and you can check it out. They usually put them on there on playback, the playback on demand, sports on demand. All of that is there. If you like those Lifetime movies, you see some of those, it's right there, and just check it out. And there's a lot to do as far as entertainment is concerned, but please, if you're staying home, that would be the best thing to do, and watch these movies over the weekend. That would be very good. This way you don't have to go out if you don't have to go out, I mean, who needs problems, right? Yeah, with the variant going on. But you have all of these great movies. So let me repeat that movie again. That's The Invaders from Mars. And that comes on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Movies. That's the name of the channel, Movies. You have to check whatever channel it comes on in your area. Just look for Movies. And of course, The Crawling Eye, that comes on right after that. And that's Friday. That's tomorrow night at 9:45 p.m. on Movies. So there. Now, I may have next week some more picks coming from Turner Classic Movies. I'm pretty sure I will. And I'll have that for you next week. But those are the movies of the week. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us once again. Here's a little note here, a little information I got too this week as we get ready to close out in about 10 minutes from now. Senate passed a bill to honor Emmett Till and his mother. Now, those of you who don't know the story, Emmett Till was a 14-year-old boy that was murdered back in 1955, and because the story was, and you could see they have a lot of stories about it, the story was that he had, according to the story, according to legend, that he had misspoken to a Caucasian woman, because back in those days, that was a no-no, you couldn't do that. Whistled at her, and they found him, 14 years old, and they killed him. Now, you could check out that story. There's a program that comes on. And as a matter of fact, I think it's on now. I'm trying to remember what channel is on. I believe it's on ABC. Is it ABC? I'm not sure. But the name of the program is called, I think it's Women. Let me kind of like, you know what I'll do? I am going to go on and Google that. Emmett Till. Let's see, let me Google that, because I have a little time left. I'm going to Google that. The film. Yeah. It's the Emmett, no, that's not the one. Let me check that. Emmett Till. Let me see. Let's see. Emmett Till. Okay. Let's see. We go to that. So yeah, there's a movie, and I'm trying to see if the movie is there. It's on CNN. As a matter of fact, it's on CNN. It's on CNN. That they're playing it on CNN, and let's see. What do we have there? Murder of Emmett Till. I'm sorry, I can't think of the movie right now, and I can't find it. But you know what? If you tune in on the Coffee Hour tomorrow, I will have it. But I do know it's on CNN right now. If you turn on CNN, it's on there right now. And then afterwards, they're going to have another an hour-long program about the murder of Emmett Till. But it was something else. But anyway, the Senate passed a bill to honor Emmett Till and his mother. So there's a lot of things going on. And also, here's something that I wanted to read off to you too. Maya Angelou. Mayor, do you call her Mayor or Maya? Maya Angelou is the first African-American woman, or the first African-American period, to appear on a U.S. coin. They have the new quarters now. They still have George Washington on the front of the quarter. That's not going away. But on the flip side, it has the image of Maya Angelou. So you can check it out. And I can't wait to get my hands on one of those coins. And so that's news. And of course, news of the day, you know that Stuart Rhodes, the leader of the Oath, and 10 others were arrested by the FBI today. Did you know that? They were arrested by the FBI today for seditious conspiracy. For seditious conspiracy. Now, they're looking for more people. There are more. I just can't wait till they get the people who fostered all of this for the break-in January 6th in the Capitol building. I just can't wait till they get to the people who fostered it. That's what I want. But they're working on it. They're doing a lot of things. I just can't wait till they get to people who actually fostered it. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, it's 5 minutes to the hour, and the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and thank you so much for being with us for another Thursday. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube and on Instagram as well, we thank you for being along with us. I want to talk about Sidney Poitier. Once again, I did say I was going to do that. Now, he did a lot of movies. Everybody knows that he did a lot of movies, a lot of great movies. But here's one movie that Brian mentioned some of the movies that he liked. But here's one movie by Sidney Poitier that a lot of people probably don't even know about. Back in 1950, the name of the movie was called No Way Out. And Sidney Poitier played a doctor. Back in 1950, this was in Sidney Poitier in his prime, probably one of his first movies. It was called No Way Out. He played a doctor that he wanted to treat a wounded Caucasian man. But the wounded Caucasian man, him and his brother were in the hospital. They both got shot, and they both wound up in the hospital. The brother, one of the brothers died, but the other brother, who was a total racist, said that he didn't. Oh, you have to watch the movies. Back in 1950, No Way Out, Sidney Poitier, and it was something else. It was something else to see. One of those movies back in those days. That's how they did that. But I would imagine that Sidney Poitier didn't mind doing that movie, but it wasn't one of those movies where he had to get on his knees, or it wasn't a stereotypical movie for African Americans, but it was all about race. But it was a good movie. And of course he did Porgy and Bess, and he did Heat of the Night, and all of those great movies that he did. And Lily of the Fields, and so many great movies that he did. So I just want to salute Sidney Poitier, because he had paved the way in the acting business, particularly for a lot of African American men who wanted to get, and women too, who wanted to get into the acting business. And he set the tone. He set the tone. And he was well respected by his peers, and people loved him all over the world. This death was a worldwide. And I'm sorry, as I said, when Brian gave me the information Friday on the coffee hour, what happened was I didn't get the information in time to announce it on the show. But it would have been nice to have actually broken the news on the show last week, but it didn't happen. So again, we salute Sidney Poitier, one of my great favorite actors, and Denzel Washington's favorite actor too, Sidney Poitier. And of course, all of you know that we lost Ronnie Spector. Ronnie Spector was one of the great singers of the 1960s. Ronnie Spector of the Ronettes, the lead singer of the Ronettes. Of course, as I said, that was a family group. And Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes, they were famous for Be My Baby and things, and that distinctive voice that she had. Every time you heard it on the radio, you knew it was Ronnie Spector even before the disc jockey on the air said her name. But Be My Baby and even the Christmas songs, Sleigh Bell, she did that. And she was married to the producer and writer Phil Spector. And Phil Spector was a brilliant producer, brilliant. He created the walls of sounds. And he worked with Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes and a lot of other great people too. And so that was one of the things. So we want to say goodbye and farewell to Ronnie Spector. We're going to miss you. I will talk more about Ronnie Spector tomorrow on the coffee hour, which I invite you to join me tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and Brian Camp with sports, the latest developments in today's world of sports update. DJ Pete along with information on entertainers. I'm pretty sure he will be talking about Ronnie Spector too. We'll all talk about that together, and that'll come up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. Other than that, I will be back here next week. next week at the same time. From 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. We're all on Eastern. I hope that you will join me. And please tell your friends. Please, all you guys who are watching us on Facebook, tag all of your friends when we come on the air. If you're watching us on YouTube, please follow us and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, all of you guys there on Instagram as well. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, a wonderful night, a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.
You've been watching Talkback Live Flashback. Talkback Live was produced under Frank Allan Productions. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Talkback Live.